Hello everybody, welcome back to another behind the scenes video. Today we're going to be taking a look at making Frantic's channel banner for YouTube. So we're in Photoshop because the channel banner template is a Photoshop template. You have to fill the whole thing really because TV users get to see it corner to corner, but you can only put stuff in the very middle because anybody on a phone, for example, will only see that very small bit in the center. So there's not a lot you can do, and yet you have to do quite a lot. So we've opted instead just to take a screenshot out of Stormworks, which is obviously the game that Matty plays the most. And we're basically just going to stick with just his name and the logo for Frantic Gaming. So we're just messing around here with colors. We weren't sure what we wanted to go for, but we thought the yellow actually worked out just fine. I've added a bit of a vignette to add a bit of a cinematic feel for people who are on a big screen. Not that most people will see it, but that doesn't matter too much. And we're going to blend the backgrounds slightly. I was sort of thinking we could add a proper depth of field effect, but what we end up doing is just going for a Gaussian blur just to sort of smooth out some of the details. Now the problem with having a background image that does have lots of detail in it, when you put a logo on just flat without any blending, it just doesn't look natural or correct. So you either tend to need to make it like pop by adding some very subtle shadowing around the edges to make it look like it's coming out from the page and it's obviously on top of everything. Or you need to blend it into the scene. And what we actually end up doing here is a bit of both. So we do make it pop by adding some drop shadows, but we also sort of turn it into a bit of a kind of a physical media piece. So it's kind of got some opacity and some color burn to sort of blend it into the scene a bit. So like, I mean, it's still obviously just a logo that's placed on top, but it feels a bit more like it's part of the scene, which I quite like. It also means for people who are on the phone who can only really see Frantic and the logo, they can still see a bit more of the scene behind it, you know, so it's just slightly more interesting. So it's not something we normally do, but we thought we'd give it a go here, and I think it's come out okay in the end. The problem with this approach is that you need to copy a lot out of Illustrator, which is where the original design is, over to Photoshop, because you end up basically building, I think we ended up with like 5 or 6 layers with different kinds of color blend, color burn, and different drop shadows and stuff. And we still wanted a stroke around the outside, but Photoshop wasn't doing a good job of it for some reason. So we've had to just copy that out of Illustrator. It's not really ideal, but it worked okay. And we're pretty close now to the finished product. So I think I'm going to fix the vignette and sort out some of the levels. We sort of mess with the colors a bit here, just to maybe increase the saturation very slightly. It's very hard to notice, to be honest. And then we upload it to YouTube, check the spacing, make some minor tweaks, which is what we're doing right here. And now we just basically add the final bits of blending. So Matty has a bunch of blending options that he tends to use for his thumbnails. I'm just going to apply that now to the text and the logo. Just to kind of tie it in with the rest of the channel. And we've just got some few minor tweaks, just polishing really, just checking everything looks okay at different scales and on the webpage, and we're done. That's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.